Hey, what's up, people? Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And I wanted to take a quick unrehearsed look at the technicals on OMI. I'm just now pulling up this chart, so I'm looking at it for the first time in a few days and just checking in to see what's happening. The last time I pulled up the chart, we were at 0.0033. I think we were right in this area before we had this nice little sink that happened right here. So let's kind of just check it out here and see what's happening and see if we can figure out what's coming up in the near future and what the outlook is. So right off the bat, of course, we notice this nice little action here where we dropped below the 50 EMA. This is the 50 EMA, the blue line. So it's kind of like it was a support for a while. We dropped down, it went below it, and then it bounced underneath it like a resistance. And we are, headed towards the 200 EMA right here. So maybe we find support down here at the 200. And let's check to see, well, what would that price be if it was at the 200 right now? That's 0.00249. Now, at the current time, from what we can tell on this crappy chart on Bit4X, it's just not the greatest, but it's all we have to go by. The stochastic, of course, looks pretty bearish, and the fast line, which is the blue, is underneath the slow line, the red. This is the %D or %K, and the red is the %D, the slower trailing oscillator line. And it looks like it is still dipping. And so as these are divergent, it says that we could still be dipping down here into the oversold zone below the 20% line, which is right here. So 20% and below is oversold, and then 80% and above is overbought. So we did peak out here up above the 80% line, which coincides to this peak right here. And as I always say, you can tell what the trend is when you go off of the stochastic peaks and what the price is that each one returns. So on the previous stochastic peak, here we were up there flirting with 0.005, and we stayed above. Notice how we went up once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and we took a little reverse and stayed up here with a double hump camel throughout this whole run. And that's why I thought, well, maybe there's a possibility that this is a recovery and the beginning phases of the uptrend. But I don't think that that's the case right now, because look at this MACD, this entire thing down here. Whoops, let's clear everything real quick and make this red. So the MACD does not look bullish at all. We're coming off of that peak, and the general trend is heading down. And with our oscillators here, we do notice that the %K, the fast line, is below the slow line. And we are also printing red bars on the histogram. We're below the zero line. Now, of course, on TradingView, you get the green bars when we're up above the zero line, and then we get the red bars when we're below. So keep in mind, we just had a very brief section here that was above the zero line, and now we are back below, which says, yeah, we got some negative momentum happening right now. All right, let's clear that out, and then we're going to jump out and look at the one-day chart, which gives us a more realistic view of what we have going on in the short term. And the thing that we can see here clearly is that this is an overall downtrend. So we had this upward movement for a minute, but then we are headed right back down towards the 50 EMA, which is the blue line right here. And then I believe we are below the 200, because the 200 still shows that it's above. We had a crossover there, but it looks like it's going to come right back. And then we have... All right, I don't know where I was. I had a brief pause, and my daughter busted in the room here. I think I was going to talk about the stochastic. Here we go. The stochastic on the 1 day, which is ugly. All right, you can just see right off the bat that the fast line is well below the slow line, and it is in a very strong downward trajectory here. So we should be dipping into the oversold zone if we continue in this direction, which is looking like it. So we might get some new, another bargain basement sale price coming up pretty soon if Bitcoin decides to take a big dump. Now looking at the MACD, we also have a crossover here where the fast line has just dipped below the slow line. That is a definite crossover. And now we are about to jump into the negative on the histogram. So we were positive in this entire area here. Whoops, I meant to do a square there. Here's where the histogram was positive right up until here. And now we are in the negative histogram with the first, here I'll clear this, you can see it right here. The first little tick is negative. So overall, it's looking like, we're not in that bad a shape. We're still well above the base levels that we had here. We had this first jump. So here's kind of the base. We jumped into it, we went below it for a brief bit, but I think that this is the base level. So we want to watch what happens right here as we're revisiting whatever this price level is. Let's clear this and see what that amount is. 0.0015. So hopefully that if we get a big dip in Bitcoin, this would be the bottom. Now, if we jump up to this level, we can see that 0.0022 is also a significant level of support. So let's put another box right there, which would be more in line with, let's see, we come back here, it's right there. So that's what I'm looking at. If we can hold above this, then, things are looking good. I don't think the Bitcoin dip is going to last long. So I'm thinking that as soon as we get done with this Bitcoin correction, that we should bounce out of here and start to move up. The only thing that I am concerned about, which not a lot of people are talking about, is this. I'm going to type this up here, and then you guys can tell me what you think. Let's just let's put it on text. Here's what I'm concerned about. Whoops, if I can type straight. Yes, the dreaded reverse split. So in the last AMA, there was talk about it. And what I noticed was that Mr. Mann from Ecomi, I forgot his first name, was talking about a reverse split without saying reverse split. And that concerned me because if you're confident that a reverse split is not going to affect the price negatively, then say reverse split. But he mentioned 100 to 1 and 10 to 1 twice. And there was a lot of when he was discussing the 10 to 1 and 100 to 1. I haven't had many good experiences with reverse splits. Very few of them come out positive. I think one of the good ones was Aave when we came out of Lind with the reverse split of 100 to 1, and it has moved up since then. So that is a positive one. So it could end up where it's just funky math. A lot of other ones don't end up well because it has a negative impact on the investor confidence. And so my question is, if a reverse split is necessary because of the tremendous supply, which is what he mentioned in that video, why did we have the tremendous supply from day one? Was it to offer something at such a low price that it would encourage people to jump in and invest, which makes sense. But if that's an issue now, then why wasn't it an issue then? And I haven't heard much talk about it. In my opinion, I would prefer that we not have a reverse split. I'm not a fan of it. But post your comments and your opinion and be nice. This is not meant to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to set anyone off into an argument or a discussion. Either way, I'm holding on for the long term, and my preference is that they don't do a reverse split, that when we migrate to the new blockchain, that they just leave tokens behind. I prefer that, but I'd love to hear your input. And all in all, it's just it's funny numbers. It's funny numerology, because what does it really accomplish? So we have a big supply and you reverse split it. It's still the same thing at the same price, moving the decimal place over twice. So why do it? Let me know your thoughts and what you think about the immediate short-term outlook. And if you are still confidently holding on to your bags, I am, because there's just too much positive going on with the growth of the Vivi app, and the NFTs are doing quite well. So I'm in it for the long haul. But post your thoughts. That's all I've got. This is Carlton, and I am out.